friends. It's Jim Dancy, and I work with Colleen Hawes and Grandview Tavern on their wine and cocktail program. And you know, a lot of us are stuck at home right now, and or we don't want to go out voluntarily, but we still want to get some fresh food, get a nice meal from Grandview Tavern. But we also want to continue having the experience that we used to have when we'd come in, where Grandview Tavern, the staff, or Colleen herself would introduce us to a new wine, pair up something with our meal. You know, we can't do that in person anymore, but maybe we could still get to that and have the same experience in a very fun way, in an educational way, where we can all enjoy something new on occasion and learn some fantastic new information about some new wines and some new drinks. So we're going to put together a video every now and then for you, and just see if we can bring you some interesting and fun things into your home to make this a little bit easier for you and for me. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a wine from Columbia Valley. It's a winery called Columbia Winery, and it's extremely interesting. They've been around since 1962, so they've existed they founded in 1962, so they've been around for over half a century, almost 60 years now. They are literally one of the founders of Washington State. It was started by 10 friends, and 6 of them were professors at the University of Washington, and they could sort of see how California was doing, and they just kind of put 2 and 2 together and realized, if California is doing so well, why shouldn't Washington and Columbia Valley specifically also do well? And they were 100% right. So they got into this back in the 60s, long before it was really a big thing. I think there was around under 100 wineries at the time. There was around 70 or so. And now there's over 700, maybe 800 at this point, wineries in Washington. So they were literally one of the cornerstones. And so one of the things that they noticed that made them jump into this is that they're on the same latitude, the 45th parallel, as some of the best wine growing regions in all of Europe. Burgundy, Bordeaux, here, I'll show you. So Washington State, on my fun little globe here, is right here. And there's a line on my globe. It's the 45th parallel. And if you follow it right here, you go across the Pacific, go over Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Europe, Ukraine, and you hit France, Burgundy, Bordeaux, all of this right here, Champagne, right there. You can see it. So it really is right there on the same latitude. So they were right in that sense, but at the same time, that's kind of where the similarities fall apart, because really Washington State, Columbia Valley, which covers about 1/3 of the entire landmass of all of Washington State, Columbia Valley is more representative of like Spain or Australia, or even the Central Coast, Central Valley of California. So they got the idea, they had the right idea, and they went forward with it, and they ended up making completely different wines than anything you're going to get out of Burgundy, obviously, or Bordeaux, but some of the best wines that you're ever going to have in the world. So in 1979, after they built this and proved themselves, in 1979, they got David Lake, Master of Wine David Lake. A lot of you have probably heard that name before, to become the head winemaker for Columbia Winery, which is very tough feat to get him to come work for you in the first place, but he did, and he killed it. What he did is he created, from Columbia Valley, he started producing the very first vineyard designated wines to ever come out of all of Washington. So that's a first right there. He also, with Columbia Winery, they were the first to produce the first Pinot Gris, Cabernet Franc, and Syrah to ever come out of Columbia Valley, Washington State, not just Columbia Valley, all of Washington State. So they're obviously, I said it a few times, they're one of the founders and a cornerstone of all of Washington. Very impressive people. So let's pull over a glass and see what we have in the bottle. So here it is. Let's see what we have in the glass. So the current winemaker, it used to be Mr. Lake, but it's now Sean Hales. And Mr. Hales is genius. What he did is he went around to some of the best AVAs in all of Columbia Valley, chose his preferred varietals, the best ones that come out of those areas, and blended it together into this wonderful glass wine. Real quick, I want to point out, earlier I said that when they built this in 1962, there was around 70 wineries. I was wrong. There was actually less than 50 in Washington State. And today, earlier I said 800, 700, there's actually over 1,000. So it's way more impressive. I was just in Oregon and I got it confused with the wineries in Oregon around the same time period versus today. But it's even more impressive. When they started this winery, when they founded it, there was less than 50 and now there's a lot. It's still specialized. It's not like California wineries where there's just a million. There's still like mostly family run operations and a lot of small production wineries. So Sean Hale put this together. He went around to 4 AVAs, chose his 5 varietals. The 4 AVAs are Yakima Valley, Wahluke Slope, Horse Heaven Hills, and a little bit from Red Mountain. And what he's putting into this is mostly Syrah. It's a foundation of Syrah with, I believe, in order of amount, Petit Verdot, Malbec, Petit Verdot, Merlot, Mourvedre. Excellent proportions. And that's just a beautiful nose. Very good. So that's just very rich. There's a lot going on there. I love a good blend. So you're getting a lot of dark fruits, but it's so alive, being as deep as it is. You're getting some black cherry, some black raspberries. You're getting some plum, some deep, rich plum. But it's all framed by this like hints of smoky oak. Just a wonderful, beautiful wine. I could drink this all day. This is it's gonna be great on its own. Just drinking it, enjoying a night at home. But that's also gonna be great with a meal. And Grandview Tavern right now, you know, this might be a little adventurous, but Grandview Tavern has this wonderful pizza. It's a barbecue chicken pizza. And it has Gouda, some smoked Gouda. It's delicious. This would go well with that to me. I would enjoy that. But where it's really going to hit most is like a filet. They have an 8-ounce filet with some homemade mashed potatoes, some sauteed asparagus, and it's got this red wine demi-glaze. I wouldn't be surprised if they use this wine in the red wine demi-glaze, because it really would just match up perfectly. I'd have to call chef and find out, but it'd be a good compliment to each other. So you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Please give Colleen a call, give Grandview Tavern a call. Order a bottle of Columbia Valley with your filet or with your barbecue chicken pizza or with anything that you want to get. She has some excellent other options as well, but I think you're going to be very happy with this. So you guys, I appreciate the time with me today, and I'll put her phone number up, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye, you guys. Bye-bye.